At WOMBA, we, for the last few years, have been doing research with Holt International Business School. And the starting point for that research was, how do you improve the experience of working parents? And as we've gone through the last few years, we've changed that, and the white paper is, how do boards create equal opportunities for working parents? So that's sort of a long way into this question, but it's at the absolute heart of this. This comes from boards, and it comes from the leaders of organisations. If they are not signalling that this matters to them, that having a family-friendly workplace where it is fine for parents to be open and speak up about their experiences, you can't shift a culture of an organisation. You will not have a culture that is family-friendly and psychologically safe for working parents.
And we work with a vast range of businesses, some that are very progressive and well on the journey, and this will just be the next step for them. But there are others where actually things have not moved on from the time that we were working parents quite some time ago.
And it is, we sort of sometimes we just are so uplifted by the experiences we hear of the organisations we work for, how much this matters to them and the impact that is having on the lives of their working parents, especially at times when they might be finding it hard and struggling. But we also hear stories that take us back to when we were working and how hard and challenging it could be, being sometimes the only parent in a meeting or in a group or in a team or in an area or in a leadership setting. And it is hard, and we hear still today, some really shocking stories of discriminatory stories about how working parents are treated.
And that's men and women, isn't it? Because there is a big assumption that it's the woman that is the primary carer. Yeah. And that's often the case, but it's not always the case. Yeah. So we had this case recently, didn't we, with a chap that asked for some flexibility.
Yeah. And was told, what's the wife doing? Which, yeah.
Haven't you got a wife to do that? I think was the phrase, which was terrible. So we might say that you're not the only one. There are times when in some organisations you may be the only one. And those organisations in particular, it takes somebody at the top of the organisation, whether it's a founder, whether it's a board, whether it's a board member or director, but it takes somebody at the top who may well be a working parent themselves. 85% of people in the workplace are, but it needs someone from the top to actually lead from the top through role modelling and starting the conversation, and particularly if they feel able to share some of their own stories.
I'm reminded of when we held a round table a year or so ago, and an HR director shared her experience, and she'd been asked by the CEO of her organisation to review their family-friendly policies, and she came back with some proposals, and he said, "Is this best in industry?" She said no. He went, "Go away, come back, I want to see what's best in industry," and adopted best in industry.